So, North American regionals, and we have TYRANITAR and TREVENANT band. That's nice. Can I make them slightly louder? Sure, slightly louder. I'm gonna find a good volume right here. Maybe this.
Yeah, I mean, Trick Phantom Force, it's so incredible.
We have a very early meta growth with Mr. Mime. Okay, yeah, we like Mr. Mime. Late game is kind of scary here, so they have SP on Leafeon, very strong early game. Actually, I like this Garchomp pick here. It could be Chompin. I don't always like Garchomp, but I don't know. I think Garchomp do something here. Well, it's definitely draft. We have Sylveon very early on. We have 3 EVs. We have a Mr. Mime. We have no tank on Exile. I mean, I guess Mr. Mime kinda. Alright, this could be interesting. Okay, we have Hooper, Garchomp on top lane. Yeah, this quality does not look great, honestly. Of course, Sylveon and Leafeon already meeting each other on top. Classic, classic. Solar Blade here. I think I like Razor Leaf more here, but it's both is okay, of course.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest reasons. Again, for anybody out there who maybe isn't as familiar with how
you can't even see the names really.
The evolutions are all
first KO already. Let's go.
So quickly, and these are some of the scariest to do it currently in.
Make my camp a bit smaller. Is it really? I think this is perfect, guys. I don't know.
But we're gonna see a fast start.
It might honestly come as a shock to some people that we only have 3 out of the 5 available evolutions in this matchup specifically. But we're gonna have Protein Shake rotating back, a 4-player push from.
This our top path is level 9 evolution against level 9 evolution. Metagross against Garchomp. I think Garchomp should win against Metagross late game though, at least. Oh, Hooper! Hooper! Hooper caught.
Is able to a Magician a berry, but it only serves the enemy team as they get KO before they can even consume it.
And this is going to be such an interesting matchup. We do see really heavy aggression from both sides early on because they do have the power of that early aggression. Pure's going to
I'm going to ask Jake if he knows anything.
Into that wall, just try and get away. Not going to be able to make it
One second.
But again, that both those Pokemon that we saw in that fight are very, very strong early game. And I feel like both these teams are really trying to get their strong late game Pokemon online by using.
Let me check out the YouTube stream.
Absolutely. And okay, interesting. It is going to be that hyperspace hole. Just really, I think, concerned about the iron box.
Not just as bad.
Pure can put you in, and that Metagross can kind of throw down within. So they want to have that portal to escape, if at all available.
Honestly, I feel like both teams have kind of weak late game, but Metagross could be very strong late in team fights. Big rotation, but they can defend this. Oh, it's gonna be disaster. Hyperspace portal. No. Garchomp is down.
Going to the side of Exile, they're going to be picking up 2 and just
pretty ignorant to think he's gonna make that portal. Get it? Oh,
oh! No! The double KO! Going for a triple, but Pure just barely getting out of there. Had to avoid some of the wild Pokemon because they're just that low. And I mean, that will be a lot of free EXP. Could have been a whole lot worse, though. It seemed like both teams.
I don't know. I feel like I don't like stored power SP anymore. I feel like, I mean, it's still a full power spike, I guess.
Defense around these goal zones for both squads. I mean, it was a very ambitious.
I don't know if it's that strong in tournaments anymore.
They try to Dragon Rush a few targets away from the.
I think there has to be better picks.
Without that healing, but then of course.
But there was a huge side beam. He's fighting top lane. It's so bad to see level 9 evolution Pokemon in tournaments. Like Garchomp just getting to level 9 takes so long. Metagross as well is only level 7.
However, Simp matching with that Sylveon at 8 on the other side.
And this is such a strange stalemate. It feels like neither team can play all that aggressive now, but that's going to be a first huge push. We already seen Sylveon Unite come out. 1 KO going down. It's just going to be Mr. Mime, and that Regieleki is getting extremely low. Solar Blade and amazing.
That's nice. Unite, huge.
That one of the best in the game.
Donk.
That's going to be Ignorance taking a huge lead here as far as being able to push down this
Garchomp. Goodbye. Combo. He hits Metagross, but it's kind of not okay. This gets bonked again.
So much shield that Oblivion was
He's actually going to live though.
One gyro ball. In the meantime, Freak was able to solo the bottom Reggie as well.
What changes ground shop need to be good? If Dick would be like Fly of Talonflame but underground and you can use Earthquake by being underground, imagine how broken that would be.
Remains at 80 out of 80 HP.
Neither team can push. All right, finally.
Just like Fly Talonflame but underground.
It looks like Exile does want to take one more attempt here. They did just get the evolution into the Metagross.
Can I type this? He's the Metagross skin. Yeah, I mean, Garchomp can't even get level 9, man. I feel like I've seen this so many times.
times in a row. That tier 1 gold zone going
They
down.
all just said so many times.
Like I said, the late game Pokemon
Like Garchomp can't even make it anywhere.
I wouldn't say it's like super late game. It can fight early.
It's so funny. This is your last pick. Like I thought the Garchomp. I think Garchomp team fights could be fine in this game, but
currently at level 10 as well, and now hitting that 11 breakpoint as well. They have been leveling up
level
so
9.
quickly on that bottom path. They've been soloing it. They haven't had too
Big
much to
dive.
contend with because
Oh,
Ignorance
stun,
is trying to
Mr.
make
Mime.
this work on the top side time and time again. EXILE racking up even more points. Ignorance really struggling to find an opportunity to get in this
EXILE's
game.
getting
At
absolutely
least they have
farmed.
the
I mean,
Garchomp at
Ignorance getting
9,
farmed.
But they are getting outpaced, and EXILE still has so many Unite moves available.
This point lead is gigantic. That was a rude little 2-point goal
Absolutely
right
found.
there. That was unnecessary.
That's really nice Mr. Mime gameplay.
We've got like over a 200-point lead, but we'll just make it 202 just for fun. But EXILE certainly, without a doubt,
Pretty good.
everything that they want. This next Regieleki is going to be pretty gigantic as well. It does seem like we've got quite a few really strong Unites up that could be.
How do you even come back when you fall behind this Garchomp? Like, yeah, Cross is level 8, doesn't even have Unite move yet.
To defend for Ignorance. So I feel like Ignorance really needs to take this to get back into the score game. This is going to be their first major fight as well, that the Garchomp is finally on.
I would have loved to see like last pick like Cramorant or something. That would also even work. Like wouldn't Cramorant as a top path Pokemon also be quite good? It's so strong on its own.
Up that roll. Freak finally goes down. We have Soup Chef.
You have good early game, level 4 air/last hit.
So at least they don't have to worry about the blazing it for the next few seconds.
Oh, Mr. Crime. Bonk. Oh, no, he got stunned over the boost. Okay, he still got him.
Case in the backside of the fight is able to take out Espeon, and now to erase the KO.
They can get the Regieleki, but
ooh, that's going to be pretty freely going there to Scrubble-Knot, and they're
don't think they can push this in right now.
To help push everything down.
Only 16 points. I mean, they can make rotation towards bot, but they're losing bot Regi too.
Entirety of this match. In fact, interestingly enough, it looks like they may not even be going for it. There's a rotation. Maybe they're trying to take a tier 1 gold zone.
I mean, they have to go bot now, but they're already too late. I feel like they should have done it faster. Oh, that's Paycheck into the overheat. Oh, Blaziken. Oh, nice fire punch. Actually, dragged Leafeon with him. Oh, Garchomp gets one. Oh, Garchomp. He gets one KO ban.
Yeah,
I don't have a break. I just said type bracket only, not brackets. Type bracket.
They had the portal available to take it and retreat back home, but they decided to instead push the aggression. They do trade
He got it.
They take out the Blaziken,
Mr. Crime.
give themselves up. And yes, Blaziken is a high EXP target, but again, it feels like we're feeding the Metagross a little bit too much
Mr.
now.
Crime.
Scaling so quickly for a Pokemon that you think won't really be a heavy damage dealer until this final fight.
Yes, I mean,
They're already at 12, very close to
the
that
final
level.
team fight, I think they might still have a chance, but of course it looks quite bad.
Win this last fight.
Not gonna lie, guys, it doesn't look great.
Their big opportunity was there.
Doesn't
once
look
they
great
took that
for
top Regieleki,
Ignorance.
but they just weren't able to find anything from it. There will be a few fights.
It's so hard to walk into the Rayquaza pit as well against Overheat and Mr. Mime. They have so much tall grass positioning, or position, or I don't know what to call it.
Tanky and hard to KO they are. I feel like they could.
It's hard to face check into them.
But they've got to be careful because you can burn down so fast when you've got that Garchomp available.
That's true. Mr. Mime and Metagross, though, they do love the ambush play. If they can get a early pick in one of these fights, it'll be so much easier for Freak and Oblivion to
actually
really
making
get to
their way
work
in.
on their hyper carry Pokemon.
This
and
EXILE
remove
is
the
missing a bit
enemy
of front
squad.
line, right?
Ignorance playing into that quite well, though. They have
They do
won
miss
the
a bit of front
positioning
line.
battle. They are not really warned at all by EXILE of getting away. Pure does take about half their HP bar down. Simp on a bit of a flank on the Sylveon, mostly just for information gain, but they take that 1v1 versus
I mean, they
Leafeon.
can't burst
It
on. I mean, they could
devastating.
burst on
Simp
with
taking so much
Garchomp,
damage,
but
notably still has their Unite.
they don't have better last hitting. Overheat, Overheat against Blade and Firebeam.
But they are going to be circling around and starting to get the flank from
Oh, Mime might be caught. Mime is super low already. Mime is just one. Uh-oh, Mime messed up big time. Metagross, the wall doesn't do much. Garchomp goes down, 2 for 2.
Their 2 big carries have gone down on Ignorance as well.
Mime got completely caught off guard. That's a problem of lacking front line.
But
Sylveon is still alive. EXILE is fine, easily.
So much damage potential.
Well, it's a mess. I think the game's over now. They still have Mime Unite and they're all respawning.
We are looking at a refight, which is
like this Mime Unite should just win the game now, right?
Great fight for them, but not able to close
and
the
Blaziken,
gap
of course, doesn't have a Unite, so they're always advantage, I guess.
Want to get this Rayquaza kind of unaffected.
and now we have basically no Unites. Only Blaziken, which doesn't really count because it always is Unites available. The Mime Unite just
Are they still ripping Ray? Did they make him to the pit? It's half HP, or there's Mr. Mime Unite, and now it should be GG, yeah?
To stop the aggression coming out from that guard jump, that's 2 members down.
Just one Unite difference is so massive, we have no chance. They could go Ray, but it doesn't even matter.
The damage is going down on Rayquaza.
Alright, Exile takes game 1.
Okay, we've got a lot of picks.
There we go, there's the Cramorant. We have a Mr. Mime no pick direct to. We have Phalanx! We have Phalanx, it's there. Well, they're gonna last pick here, maybe.
Really interesting. Cramorant, so
Can we put the pick Venus? No, they can pick Venusaur, right?
Attackers. They love to get into the mix.
Scizor?
They can take down the squishy targets very
Scizor?
easily.
They still maybe play Scyther here, right? Is Scyther good against Phalanx?
That Phalanx has a 25% lower critical hit ratio, so
Scyther?
very good at negating some of those options.
I'm not in the wrong scene right here. I don't know what that's gonna be. We shall see, I guess. It could be Scizor. Putting on, it's actually gonna be a Scizor probably, right? He put on Curse Bangit and Weakness Policy. Okay, let's see how much the Cram can do. Like, I really think they could all just play Cramorant top path a lot.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I think that'd actually be quite good. Metagross is jungling this time, I like it. Actually, I think it's pretty good. If there's no EVs, I mean, there's an EV to have Sylveon. But if they don't have the biggest early game, then jungle Metagross is pretty nice. I do like it more lane than in lane. They're over-aggressive, they know that Sylveon is gonna gank.
Yeah, this is kind of.
And now Sylveon doesn't really do much.
Exile, even though they do have
I think this. I mean, I guess they have Metagross against Phalanx, so right? You get more shields from Gyro Boy. That's pretty good.
But again, this
the rest is like whatever.
That competitively seeing things like I've never seen.
Maybe we have a hyper voice. Maybe they just want more damage.
In my entire life, I mean, it hasn't been that long, but I'm curious as how it's gonna go. I can see it being quite scary.
I mean, I think it should be a Scizor, right?
Pure was with the walls last
I think it has to be.
Those options. I wonder if we see a different look from Scribblenaught though. They're kind of playing this Mr. Mime in the tank. But
then we never see Scizor in tournaments, so we're gonna find out in a second right here. Oh, it's the Scizor!
And yes, the
Let's go!
The top side going in Exile's favor, as they are gonna get a bunch of those knockouts and a bunch of
it is a Scizorino.
Trades on either end.
You can see really where they are prioritizing all of their effort, their offense. And so we are going to see Jupiter actually just kind of go down, but everybody from Exile is going to be running into that center area. I mean, not everybody, but we are seeing a good amount of aggression trying to steal away some of that center area XP.
Also, I think that's a Scizor, by the way. Level 5.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
We have a freak locking in the Scizor. So
we already have dive.
These teams just dedicating themselves to the brawl. We do not want to take these team fights quick. They were too fast last game. We want these ones to be as long as possible.
They're leaving top back gold exposed. That's a few point 20 going in.
And shielding for themselves. The more hits, the more that Scizor becomes tankier.
You know, I
still don't like when everyone goes mid lane. I think 3 going mid lane is right, but this many.
So you could outlast in team.
So yeah, it's the no retreat Iron Head bid. It's just the best.
The Umbreon, they've got the Scizor.
Crazy how broken this bid feels.
Who can basically just kind of try to stay out of range. And they can just sit
but I still can't win rank games with it somehow.
Strong strategy. You're going to be jumping though immediately on Soup Chef.
Sword Dance. Oh, and Scizor is squished.
Wow, what a quick little turnaround.
Squished down.
Yeah, there you go. You're starting to see the damage potential as.
But Metagross is struggling again to like find experience even in jungle. I mean, it's level 8, I guess.
Picks up a few shields.
I don't know, picking a 3-stage evolution Pokemon just feels so awkward in tournaments.
All over the enemy. The special defense shred from the Sylveon might not help out the Phalanx in particular, but those Mr. Mime Confusion Blasts are going to hit harder if that special defense damage
Scizor can cook here.
Has hit from the Sylveon.
He gets one. Hizikin, okay, so you Jake button. So Crusher also goes down. For the Scizor.
And just sustain forever. So that attempt to push it from ignorance, like we saw in game number 1, is just not really finding any fruit, really. It has just been tough. We are going to see the Hyper Voice, though, which we didn't get talking about as much, where they're going to need that extra damage and just jumping over there. Very quickly.
Yeah, if you
it's also very fast. They're also very fast against Mime and Hyper Voice. The Crumb doing bot is good.
Big snarl from Pure, though, hits multiple targets.
Metagross is so close, he needs one last hit, one KO. For level 9. Crazy actually went down. But they also get Eldegoss. Yeah, he's going for the bite turn now, but I feel like a bit too late. Gets level 9, but his teammates are already dead. Oh, the wall is terrible. It went into the Crossel. And Crossel gets away anyways. Nah, they all get away. Wait. Okay, we still get some. Oh, that was terrible for Metagross. Jeez. That was so bad.
That was a great play altogether by Simp. They managed to solo down there the basement Reggie, and then they came up, they managed to get a sneaky little Unite in that tall grass. They managed to use the eject button to get it even a little bit further, getting all those KOs, cleaning up everything on that defense. So just getting so much mileage, and they are very high as far as level goes.
And we're starting to see the preview of these long fights, right? These one by one, even getting one KO takes so much time.
This Farling's build does so much damage, man. You just go down so fast.
Getting credit for the KO is just Pure left to defend his goal zone. One Snarl will stop all those targets, and a big
Race is good, actually.
play will push a few away, but the scores will still rain in. Phaling's able to jump a few. Big push, that Iron Head, giving them the boosted or enhanced auto attacks for a few seconds after. When all the Phalings are glowing, you know that they're throwing in a ton of damage.
That's when you've got to be afraid.
Rip Scissor.
Back up and not get hit by that overheat. Just the last
Scissor goes down so fast sometimes.
Now Exile's gonna be pushing down.
Oh, but Metagross just gets 3.
Just jumping over here on Neon, making sure that they're not gonna be able to use
and Scissor.
as they would like to, but regardless, this defense is going quite well. 2 respawns coming back up. Suchef coming
no,
back
what? Okay, sure, buddy.
Actually, gonna be 2 KOs, I believe, for Neon. And
wow.
It's hard for anybody to push.
I mean, Scissors is still just going down every time he's like somewhere. He just can't stay alive. Too much burst damage on the left side. Hyper Voice Confusion, the Iron Head basic attacks, so much damage.
Before the show started, very counterable in draft. Well, that Metagross Gyro Ball can hit every target of Phalings and get shielding from every single one. That is why you see Oblivion hard targeting Jupiter in those fights.
Okay, should be free win though now. Cram? Wait, yeah, no. The Cram Unite is no chance to fight in. Is this not bad in competitive? Yes, it is.
Protein Shake taking some extra damage, but not going to find any knockouts from it. Meanwhile, of course,
yep.
throwing in the points to the top side, and they get a small lead.
Ignorance could try to...
No, yeah, it doesn't have enough sustain.
Yeah.
Just gets bursted down too fast. But a level 14, 15 Scissor is very scary, but you have to get there first, right? So he's gonna maybe be 13 barely this game, which is fine, but yeah. He doesn't have Unite for this. He's dancing around, and Scissor still alive, and is dead. Yeah. Scissor's gone.
Oblivion has so much shields, but the X-Scissor holds them in place long enough that they can get the KO before another Gyro Ball can come out. Pure takes so much damage that they have to walk away, but Neon does take down
actually winning this fight now.
Simp still fighting in this matchup.
Scissor has been useless since like that one double KO he got.
So strong from Neon.
He's been useless.
Absolutely unstoppable. Regieleki is available, but Ignorance doesn't really have
that
the
is a bit
firepower to take it down.
Like literally, he has been useless since ever he got that like level 7 double KO.
They did get quite a bit of EXP.
He just kept going down and down.
The points lead now, and slightly in the EXP lead. First 13 in the game is going to be Neon. They are going to be able to eventually take that Regieleki. So within the final minute of this game, Ignorance doing an amazing job of jumping into the lead, and it is a very small lead, but especially considering the last game that we saw where it was very much Exile dominated up until forcing that Ray fight, this is looking a lot better for Ignorance. They've just got to try and close it out.
And what a showcase of Mime Walls from both these teams. They are absolutely crushing it right now. I mean, we have seen last game, of course, Pure on it, and now Scribblenaught, but these Mime Walls have been devastating for both teams to deal with. You saw Oblivion on that Metagross loves to jump into the fray of multiple enemy targets, but those Mime Walls really shutting them down at every turn.
Okay.
Oh, was that a Unite forced out of the... No, that wasn't Unite.
That was X-Speed.
No, Unite, yeah.
That visually looked like Unite,
X-Speed, I think. But yeah,
that was X-Speed.
Yeah, with the... Oh, but there's Unite!
We all press Unite buttons, let's go! Unite! Everyone just press Unite buttons, literally every single person. Who's winning? Bro, what just happened? 3 KOs on the left side, right side. They can't go for Raiders still. Yeah, but capping is also gonna happen. Maybe top.
have to deal with probably both the Sylveon and
Wait,
the Blaziken.
all 10 unit moves are gone. Well, except for Blaziken, I guess.
Still not in the lead. There's not been any significant back caps. Still 5-point lead for Ignorance. So
What was that fight just happened.
They maybe didn't want to try to force anything. They did have a slight numbers advantage, but it wasn't going to be enough that they could guarantee themselves something safely. The secure on the side of Ignorance is very, very strong, and they've got to make sure that they get a true win here at the center fight. A nice little rock tomb, but there's just not enough backup from Ignorance, who's playing extremely defensively.
I was just gonna say, Ignorance are playing this like they have a 200-point lead, but they are confident in their 5-point lead right now. Exile finally making the first move. Simp jumps into the middle of the Ray Pit and starts doing a little bit of damage to that Rayquaza. It's barely been touched, but they have definitely started this initiation.
That's only 5-point difference. Like, is Scissor gonna do something now? You talking about the back cap?
As they are trying to get that engaged. Pure and
I don't even know who's better late game here, but I feel like Exile
Ignorance is working their way towards the Rayquaza.
Pretty good
Positioning battle victory there.
Yeah, Simp's gonna have to back up. They're getting very low, and they do see that there's a vulnerable target there in the form of Simp. That Carmerat's getting really
Scissor going in now. Scissor, Unite move again.
Unite coming out from the Scissor. That's gonna be a big jump. Exile has to move in. There's 26 seconds left. They've got to win this fight.
Gone.
They're gonna get one KO, but trade for the Scissor, and they've got to get more. A big, huge.
Nope, we get a game number 3, guys.
It's getting them a 60+ point lead, and that Rayquaza is extremely high health. So everybody's just gonna be running over
we get a game 3.
Brotichek's gonna be doing just the same. Pure attempt.
Even with Unite moves there, they still like, okay, yeah. So we have a Garchomp last pick that lost, then we had a Scissor last pick that lost. Let's see what we get in game number 3. Who's ready?
Enjoying that fact for the
We
first
have
time
a
ever in the history
first
of Pokemon.
pick.
That's very optimistic.
TYRANITAR. We have a first pick TYRANITAR. So they're gonna just... Let's see if Ignorance can do something about it. If they can just pick very strong early game and completely dismantle it. Oh, that's gonna be interesting to see. They're gonna pick a Leafeon very early on. But Exile Blaziken... Oh, the Blaziken. Really Blaziken here? I think I would pick more early game. Blaziken also is not experience. Oh, they might Sableye him.
It might be.
It could happen.
It's so hard to guess this meta,
But they need big damage for late game then still. They need to pick some... Do they go Machamp? What are we doing now?
Scribblelet does have an interesting choice to make here.
Why Machamp?
For quite some time. Both
For what?
Machamp can look very, very solid with that particular option. But I think right now, Ignorance
why Machamp?
In their draft strategy, how do we shut down
Why Blaziken and TYRANITAR makes no sense, because it's already 2 very bad early game Pokemon.
Hard counters to this Pokemon. In fact, I think it's going to be
especially up against Leafeon, like...
This pick, though, might be
another pick there. Okay, Delphox is not bad here, I guess. But the Machamp, I really just don't understand. This thing a bit. Alright, so what can the TYRANITAR do with it? Where's TYRANITAR? TYRANITAR is left side bot lane. They're already scared of getting invaded. They don't even do their jungle. And they know that Pupitar is alone on bot lane. I mean, Larvitar is alone on bot lane.
Doesn't get the level 4 of that, which is a little frustrating.
Okay.
I'm sure, but now they have to contend with the.
I mean, they're scared of getting invaded, but like, wait, he's almost getting a KO. What?
Giving Oblivion any help here, and TYRANITAR, I feel like
he was gonna KO.
Give at least a little bit of help, but instead we've got a lot of invasion going on. We're actually going to see a counter invade doing quite well for the side of Ignorance. I'm not sure exactly if they were able to steal away.
They're really just leaving TYRANITAR alone on bot path. Now Blaziken is going back to mid.
Finally, the early Leafeon pick is
I still don't know why we picked Machamp, but we will see, I guess. Nice confusion. Was that a potion on Hoopa? Hoopa has potion?
Time to portal back. Very safe return from the Hoopa.
Yeah, that top path is actually going to be quite difficult to challenge now, but we are going to see Brotichek trying to steal a little bit from the side of Exile, and tries to get the hit there. They may be going down. They're going to be so
Pupitar! No way, focus bend. Nah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. There was another KO up on top from
bro.
So Exile just kind of sweeping across the board.
Yeah, Exile might have lost that first Bees engagement on top side, but after that, they've been punishing.
I mean, they also picked up like Machamp, Delphox into like Delphox is good into TYRANITAR, but Machamp?
Because freaking Oblivion's teamwork was really excellent in that
situation. Don't get it.
Both targets dealing damage from the opposite ends, making no escape.
Now Pupitar went down finally.
However, it looks like a bit of revenge going to be going in for Brotichek.
Yeah, and we did manage to see Ignorance doing quite well in that center area. They were able to KO Oblivion. That's exactly the KO that we were just talking about. And they look like they were able to get the majority of the 8-minute experience, which is going to be very, very important in the game of Pokemon Unite. Getting just basically basically all of these big chunks of these spawns that spawn multiple Pokemon.
Classic at least 7.5 already.
So this is probably Mystical Flyer Flame Charge from Neon. Now, both of the Delphox movesets are probably on paper counters to the Tyranitar. Either able to dash away and move from that target with your dash kind of abilities of Mystical Flyer.
Yeah, Mr. M doesn't have XP share.
Try to lock down the Tyranitar with the Fire Spin. It's really dealer's choice, but it seems like with Neon
so they play one XP share Pokemon and just let Jupiter lane alone on bot path. This is definitely something I've never seen before.
Maybe I actually have never seen that interaction before, but we've seen it definitely go over Rock Tombs. But of course, Rock Tombs on their own side. So I guess if your teammate accidentally locks you in, you've got a way to get out. But
I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think.
EXILE. Yeah, the real burn down. Nobody's going to be there in time. Regieleki, though, is not being taken down as we're just seeing stacks going in up top on that currently. Machoke going to be the champ pretty soon in my eyes.
Yeah, currently
there's a check button forward. Jupiter, there's TYRANITAR now. Maybe for ancient power.
Oblivion hits level 9.
Okay.
Pollen Puff is also available for this Eldegoss. We are seeing the damage that Exile can do. Everybody
gets 40 points in 2.
Oblivion going to break that goal zone, and now 139 the scoreline for Exile as they're having a chance to push into the enemy central area. Try to take that blue buff. Doesn't spawn in time, I suppose. Up here, going to try to run. Get good amount of distance gained, and no one is going to be able to earn that knockout.
A little bit of EXP in the center area.
Yeah, I don't know why the quality is so bad of the stream. I have no idea, man. Definitely shouldn't be a thing.
We're gonna go back to the dive, basically.
I think someone forgot to like upscale the he upscale the quality, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, get caught out a little bit, but hey, the big buddy of Tyranitar.
Like, what is Machamp doing in team fights as well? Cram's gonna press Unite. Eldegoss can fly away. TYRANITAR doesn't care what Machamp Unite. Let's see, Machamp Unite. Let's see. Okay, just get Eldegoss and he's gone. I mean...
Yeah, good Machamp Unite there for the big push. However, Delphox is going to get absolutely shredded. I don't think they were able to see free charging of that overheat within that tall grass.
Yeah.
They're going to try to dunk 40 early if they can. They probably will not have the opportunity. It was a great Delphox Unite move to cover the attack from Exile, but Oblivion is just starting to shred these enemy Pokemon. Leafeon does not stand a chance at holding up against the high damage that's having to take. And level 11 at 5 minutes. They have not been able to slow this Pokemon down. One of the only clear responses to Tyranitar is shutting it down in the early game.
This series is one of the most like solo queue games I've ever seen. This entire series.
I mean, the Machamp and the Quetzal in particular, I feel like they just want to be so far forward. The moment that Tyranitar goes in there with all that true damage, just jumps into the fight, you are getting melted. You are not going to be able to last no matter what. I mean, if obviously you're going to try to get out a Hoopa portal for the reset in time, but you might not even have time for that, which we've seen multiple times before. And currently we're going to see that T-Tar again sitting here defending, doing so much
for Blaziken.
Best defending in the game, but there's still going to be a lot of
TYRANITAR still jumping forward. He's still alive. Oh, the huge wave!
Is going to be noticeably popping into that.
He still gets a KO.
Huge stuns.
Oh man, it took so long for them to even get TYRANITAR. They still die now.
Falling beside them left and right, and as will they. Exile in another great
took them so long.
Of that goal zone.
TYRANITAR had a huge wave on the Centum.
And it's the Eldegoss. 3 KO streak.
We've seen a lot of Eldegoss KOs. I think we're going to see a pretty high stat line after this game. It's pretty funny, but right now, we've got Neon just kind of sitting here trying to get as much experience as they possibly can, but we're seeing a little bit of a flank from Exile going back around through the center area. They will be able to pick up at least 1 KO, this time on the Hoopa, and now this Regieleki is pretty free for the taking. We could see an attempt from the champ. CrossChop already used the Unite coming out, trying to get that steal. It was
just wrap this thing up, man.
Like, there's not going to be too many other opportunities.
I mean,
to use that
it's.
Unite.
I guess it's his last chance to like use Unite, but I mean.
Does mean that Exile is going to be in a similar situation to game number 1.
Yeah, Exile currently have 2 Regis steals to their name, and now
why do we pick Machamp? For what reason do we have Machamp?
Objective in this matchup, outside of maybe a Swablu or an Altaria.
Guys, you play all year.
Exile has been shutting
you qualify through a big tournament for this. You fly to New Orleans. You go there at 9 AM. You are currently in your elimination game. And you pick Machamp! You out at 10 AM!
2 minutes
After playing all year!
Guaranteed going home.
You out at 10!
We'll have to see which one it is. And again, although I said it was
You
similar
pick
to the
Machamp!
first game situation, this is looking more even. It was a 200+ point lead on the side of Exile. The problem is, once again, they're going to have to find an answer for that Tyranitar. And the fact that we're going to have...
Okay, he's going to win the game. Let's see. He's going to win the game in the end. Just watch. He's going to find a big flank on Cram. Cram can't activate Unite move, and then bam, 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 and then his entire team dies to Tyranitar.
Oh, of course, yeah. Man, if you could take down one of these big threats, you're going to be feeling so much better about your final fight, which we are fast approaching, by the way. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. A third Registeel. 3 for 3 on the Registeel. Pretty big KO for Registeel fans. As now an attack buff is going to be going onto every member of Exile currently.
Tyranitar with Registeel, Mime with Registeel, Blaziken, Eldegoss. Oh my god, that's disgusting. 130 point lead. Ignorance can backcap top goal, which looks like they're in position for it. Tyranitar jumping forward. Getting stunned for time. Oh, Cram did so much damage there actually. What is that Cram Unite? No! Oh, that is... That could be a chance now.
Difficult time getting any experience in this matchup.
Magic 11 as we
he got like one fish out of his Unite move, just one basic attack out of his Unite.
Rather be 15, I guess, but unlikely.
Oof.
And yeah, it's been melting so quickly to the Tyranitar. It hasn't been able to be a part of these fights, even if there are KOs. It's somewhere else, basically. Simp is gonna throw down a little bit of poke just to say, hey, you gotta make the initiation on me. But there is an attempt to.
Oh, Tyranitar is down, maybe no.
Russell's gonna be able to go back.
Cram is down over there. Machamp got the flank on Cram. But it's because Cram didn't have Net move anymore. I'm actually lose, you know.
Gonna come out and 3 members down on the side
of
Exile.
If they can take out Neon, they'd be in a much better spot, but now it's just gonna be Oblivion hanging out the flame charge. Will take the KO. The crowd popping off for Ignorance as Stealthfox picks up 3. Neon popping up.
Exile's gonna be out.
And now it's all down to the Rayquaza.
Exile has been exiled.
Members KO'd of Exile and Ignorance. All they need to do
it was the Cram Unite. I mean,
their burn is very low. They're not.
And that Cram Unite lost them the game.
Will go down before anybody from Exile.
It's not over yet though. I mean, they have to score 2 times.
To get everybody up and getting those shields, they've still got to score at least
Hooper's gonna score
130 points to manage to make back this lead. But it's looking quite good for them. One Mime's not gonna be able to be enough to stop that. They have the lead now. Tyranitar stopping those scores. That Tyranitar does true damage. Which
that Cram Unite lost in the game.
Not too worried. Tyranitar can only defend.
I don't even know. Did he have to Unite move there? He just maybe he panicked. We can rewatch it in a second, but yeah, that was. What Machamp difference, guys? Machamp
all the way back 2 in
easy for Machamp. It was the MVP pick right here.
On the big stage here, a good showing.